Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for March 8th. March 8th is the 67th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, except for leap years when it's the 68th day of the year. 298 days remain until the end of the year. Currently, we're looking at tosspot words. Tosspots are words coined by combining a verb and a noun, like spitfire, shunpike, and scofflaw. In order to be a tosspot word, the noun has to be the object of the verb, so shut-eye is a tosspot word, but shut-in is not. And today's word is scofflaw. Scofflaw is a noun meaning one who displays contempt for the law, especially in minor violations, such as failure to pay parking tickets. The etymology of this word comes to us from Old English and Old Norse, from words that mean to mock and something laid or fixed. Earliest documented use of this word is 1924. I'd like to take a moment to remind you that links to my research are included in the show notes and ask you to go ahead and click that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Stay to the end for outtakes and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, remember that you can share this with your friends so that they'll know what you know. You can share it with a link in an email or through your social media. And with that, we're going to start in 1618 when Johannes Kepler, I'm always uncertain exactly how to pronounce that, Johannes, I think I've heard it used as Johannes. Johannes Kepler discovered the third law of planetary motion on March 8 of 1618. These laws of planetary motion improved the heliocentric theory of Nicholas Copernicus, replacing circular orbits with epicycles or elliptical trajectories, and explaining how planetary velocities may vary. Mount Etna, a volcano on the island of Sicily in modern-day Italy, began erupting on March 8th of 1669. Multiple eruptions over the next few weeks killed over 20,000 people and left thousands more homeless. The New York Stock Exchange was founded on March 8th, 1817. On March 8 of 1917, the February Revolution began, leading to the end of Tsarist rule in Russia. It's called the February Revolution because Russia was still using the Julian calendar. The Daytona Beach and Road Course held its first oval stock car race on March 8, 1936. This is the birthday of American singer, songwriter, drummer, and actor Vicki Dolenz, who was born on March 8, 1945. Perhaps best known as cast member of the Monkees, he also played the part of Corky, an orphaned water boy for the Elephants in a 2-season TV show called Circus Boy. Still alive as I read this in 2020, Vicki Dolenz turned 75. The Volkswagen microbus went into production on March 8, 1950. Known as the Type 2, the VW bus was a favorite mode of transportation for hippies in the United States during the 1960s and became an icon of American counterculture movement. In the 1940s, an unlikely couple met through a Lonely Hearts Club that advertised in the back of romance magazines. Raymond Martinez's angle was to romance women, gain their trust, and then loot their accounts or rob them. He wasn't above killing them if it seemed necessary. His plan was to do the same to Martha Beck, but apparently the two fell in love. He confessed his original idea to her, and she thought that was a great idea and joined him. They posed as brother and sister as he continued to meet older women, seduce them, and steal from them. Their downfall began when he hooked up with a younger woman. She let the two move into her home, but wouldn't marry Fernandez or provide access to her funds. Beck became understandably jealous, and the two killed the woman and her 2-year-old child, buried them in the basement. They got caught, of course. They thought they were safe in the non-capital punishment state of Michigan, but hadn't counted on being extradited to New York, where their crime spree had begun. They then tried to claim an insanity defense, but nobody bought that line, and the two were executed on March 8th, 1951. Egypt reopened the Suez Canal to international traffic on March 8th, 1957. On March 8th, 1971, 3.5 years after the Boxing Commissions had revoked his license and the World Boxing Association had stripped his heavyweight championship over his refusal to fight in the Vietnam War, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier met for what was billed as the fight of the century at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Frazier prevailed this time, winning 15 rounds in unanimous decision, but Ali won the next 2 times they fought in 1974 and 1975. On March 8, 1983, President Ronald Reagan borrowed a term from the wildly popular Star Wars movie when he called the Soviet Union an evil empire. The animated series Beavis and Butthead premiered on MTV on March 8, 1993. Beavis and Butthead went on to be MTV's highest-rated series up to that point. These guys spent most of their time eating junk food, talking about girls, and watching music videos. Whether you loved Beavis and Butthead or hated them, I must say I to this day, know grown men who still quote them. You can still find Beavis and Butthead on YouTube if you miss them real bad. I did not include a link this time. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 lost contact with air traffic control less than an hour after taking off from Kuala Lumpur. They veered off course and disappeared. Most of the plane and everyone on board have never been seen again. Theories abound as to what might have happened to that plane and its passengers, but the simple truth is that it just disappeared. And that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that links to my research are included in the show notes. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share so that your friends will know what you know. While you're here, check out my other channel, 8 Susquehanna. There's a link in the show notes to that as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. My day in history. So many mistakes. Say that again. I'm gonna have to look that up right quick. We're not gonna go into all that. Okay. I don't know how all that's gonna go together, or if it's even gonna make it to the video. We'll just see. That's not gonna go. Probably cut all that out. That'll all be laying on the cutting room floor. So I'll just do that whole thing over. That might not make it into the video, we'll see. Changing it up.